Liam, thanks for being with us. Hokey cokey and shake it.
More U-turns than Swindon Roundabout. Crikey, it's like Spaghetti Junction, isn't it? To refer to Birmingham.
What do you expect is going to happen on this triple lock on November? Because we're getting different messages from different parts.
We certainly are. Liz Truss, she stood at the dispatch box and said she would implement the triple lock, which was a Tory manifesto commitment in 2019. And that would mean, as you explained before you talked to Dennis, Mark, that pensioners on the basic state pension, as 11.5 million of them would get that 10.1% increase, because that is the rate of inflation in September.
It's pretty hefty.
It is pretty hefty, and it would cost an awful lot of money. It would cost about £16 billion for the rest of this Parliament, and of course the increase lasts forever. We're not going to reduce the basic state pension in cash terms, so it's a massive financial commitment. I suspect, and it gives me absolutely no pleasure to say this, I know a lot of pensioners watch and listen to GBNews. I suspect they won't deliver it on the triple lock. The reason I think that, and we've had mixed messages even now, Rishi Sunak backing away from it yesterday, Nadeem Zahawi on the television this morning saying, actually, we may do it. I think what they will do is they will do more targeted support for particularly vulnerable pensioners. Now, that does lead to means testing issues. Some people fall through the cracks. They may use some kind of characteristic-based test of who's eligible for additional top-ups through pension credit, maybe through other characteristics like immobility, disability, particular characteristics of pensioners, to try and get the money to people who need it most, while acknowledging that a lot of people working won't get anything like a 10% pay increase.
But the worry, therefore, is that what else then will start being means tested? You know, winter fuel allowance or energy help, and you know, are you going to have a first and second class citizen status as being a pensioner? Because it was, you know, a universal help.
OK, it will still. No one's taking away the basic state pension. You'll still have a universal basic state pension. The question is, do you have additional stuff on top? And we've had that for years. I mean, even not a few years after Beveridge, we started introducing additional help for particularly hard-up pensioners. And look, some people will be screaming at their radios and televisions hearing about this. There are lots of hard-up pensioners in Britain. There is pensioner poverty in Britain. Unfortunately, and it's a tragedy in a rich country like ours, there will be pensioners who die because of the cold, because they're choosing between heating and eating. But I think the Tories are making a calculation when the public finances are looking a little bit better now than they were just a few days ago, given all kinds of movements in financial markets, which we've discussed over the last few days, Mark. But I still think there are tough decisions to make, and the Tories will be thinking, a lot of pensioners are going to vote Tory anyway. We don't want to alienate hard-working families who can't make ends meet either.
But some of those pensioners have got private pensions. They're looking at what's happening in the stock market, which is not great at the moment. But just to give an overall picture, I just did notice the FT had a phrase, the dullness dividend, i.e. the fact everything is settled down, that the markets were OK, that maybe this will help the government with its borrowing.
Well, what the traders in the city have been saying up until now is they've been talking about a moron penalty, like the additional amount of money that the government has to pay to borrow because what they see as irresponsible fiscal policies. And the government borrowing cost, the 10-year gilt, which ripples across the economy, was 4.2, Mark, on Friday. It's now 3.6. That's a massive downward shift in an advanced economy. So maybe we are getting a dullness dividend. Certainly, if government borrowing costs continue to fall, mortgages will fall. They'll still be higher than they were, and it should mean there's less government interest to pay from the state's coffers, which should free up the public finances just a little bit. Still tight, though. Yeah, but being dull is good, they say here. In this instance, it is. Dull as a form of compliment.